I am fucking a girl that looks like my sister. Let's go. Hey, Lewis, my name is Tom. I've been seeing this girl for a couple of months now, not too regularly or anything, but enough to have hung out as friends as well as hung out when we were hooking up. Although before I did have her on my Snapchat for almost a year before ever meeting her, and this might sound obvious, but she looks very different in person than online in photos. Not worse or anything, just different. I'm trying to say I didn't notice that she looked like anyone I recognized until I started seeing her in person. Okay, so you have been hitting on this girl over social media thinking that she's really hot, and then you meet her in person and find out she looks like your sister. That's rough. That is fucking tough. It wasn't until about the third or fourth time of hanging out that I noticed that she kind of looked like my sister when she laughed and when she smiled at me after we were joking about something. Then I realized she has very similar features to my sister. Same hair, same smile, same eyes. Oh no, dude. This is bad. I'd be pulling out. Not during sex. I mean, literally, I'd be pulling out of this interaction. I was weirded out completely when the thought popped into my head, and we haven't had sex since. We're still talking, though. Oh, that's bad. So you realized during sex? Bad. By the way, we have not met each other's families yet or anything like that, although we do have some mutual friends. Yeah, see, that's the danger, isn't it? Is bringing home a girl who looks just like your sister and your mum and dad realizing, fuck, I think we raised a guy that wanted to fuck his sister. What did we do wrong? You know? That is quite bad. Like, I would imagine, like, my girlfriend looks nothing like my brother. My brother has black hair. He looks like he'd stab you at a train station, covered in tattoos. He's got a rat's tail. My girlfriend is beautiful and has red hair, very tall. Very different types of people. If I brought home a woman who just looked like my brother, I think mum would go, do you know? You know? That's not ideal. Really not ideal to bring home a girl who looks like your sibling because mum and dad definitely notice. Because they have the perspective of watching you grow up. They love you more than anything. They know what you look like. So they're going to notice that shit straight away. Although my sister is a fair bit younger than the person I'm seeing, is it weird to stop seeing her because of this? Yeah, see, what is going to be very weird is that, I don't know how old your sister is, but I'm assuming much younger, teens, maybe. What's going to be very strange is when, say this relationship works out long term, when you all start growing up, when you all hit like 20, 30, and everyone just kind of starts looking like how they're going to look for the rest of their life, if they become even more alike, that's going to become even more of a problem. Because, you know, one day, you could fucking, if you all come home for Christmas and you wake up in the morning, it's really early in the morning, and you see your girlfriend at the fucking kitchen bench making herself breakfast, it's really early, you're a bit tired, and you grab her on the ass, being a bit cheeky, Christmas spirit, and she turns around and it's your sister, that's an issue. What would be even more of an issue would be if she misinterprets the signal and she, thinking because you're dating someone that looks like you, like her, and you've been dating that person who looks like her for years, she notices that obviously you must have the hots for her, but didn't want to go there because it was too taboo, and then because of how the way that your parents raised you, she feels the same about you, and after you accidentally squeeze her ass thinking it's your girlfriend, she turns around and kisses you on the mouth. That's an issue. That's a problem. Or a fantasy. It's a very popular category on Pornhub. Not my cup of tea, but most people are into it, apparently. You look at the studies, the stats, a lot of people want to fuck their sister. So, you know what, man? More power to you. And I think you should dump this girl and fuck your sister. You know what? Skip the sister, root your mum. Because that's where she comes from. And that's where you're obviously heading. Work your way up the family tree. Fuck your sister, fuck your mum, and jump on dad's dick. After that, you know, maybe you could fucking have sex with grandma's urn. Get a hat trick going. Sister, mum, grandma. Fulfill the prophecy. Fuck grandma's urn. Get a washcloth. Make sure you wee afterwards. You don't want a UTI. It's a story, at least. Although my sister is a fair bit younger than the person I'm seeing. Is it weird to stop seeing her because of this? I'm worried that I'm going to end up being the biggest dick ever if I end things with her without any explanation, and telling her seems like it would make things worse. Hope you can share your thoughts on it. I would appreciate the advice. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, fuck. On a serious note, that's a very difficult situation. I don't think that I couldn't do it. I couldn't be in a relationship. I don't have a sister, but that's an issue. If I kept thinking about my sister when looking at my girlfriend, I couldn't separate the two. You need to end it. That's what I think. I mean, the fact that you're emailing me means you're fucking desperate about this issue and you're thinking about it a lot. You know? I've had a lot of issues in my life. I've never emailed a comedian about it. But then the question is, how do you break up with this girl? Because you can't just fucking... I mean, maybe you can tell her. How does that conversation go? You know? Like, oh, I want to talk to you. Sit down. I like you as a person, but... And I didn't notice this when we were talking online. However, I have noticed that you look almost exactly like my sister, and it's a really big turnoff, and I can't stop thinking about it. I mean, maybe you should just be honest. Maybe it's not. It's not mean, but she also can't argue with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, she really. What's she gonna do? Get a haircut? Bitch, it's your face. Look, it'd be fucking difficult for her, but ultimately, in terms of like reasons to get dumped, because you look like my sister is gotta be one of the better ones. You know, you could have cheated on her and said, "Look, I cheated on you. I can't continue the relationship." You could have just fucking hate her. You could say, look, I think you're ugly. Or like, oh, I just think you're a bad person to be around, or I don't like your vibe. There are worse reasons to get dumped for that are a lot more damaging to the soul. You know? That is a fucking thing. I dumped a girl because she cheated on me back when I was fucking 18. That hurt. Oh, no, 17, sorry. That hurt me. I had to get over that. You know, if she told me that I just look like her brother, I mean, at worst, I'm just kind of confused. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think that it's not nice breaking up with someone. It's a difficult conversation to have. But of all the reasons you could have to dump someone, that's got to be up there in terms of like, not like they can't weasel out of it. If you go, oh, I don't love you anymore, they can like try harder. You know, it probably won't work, but that's something that they could convince you they could do. Like, oh, if I try harder and try and be a better partner, maybe we could fix. But you, like, what is she going to do? I'll get plastic surgery. I'll dye my hair. I'll change the way I dress. Like, she can't do anything. And she can't feel bad. Like, it's not her fault. It's not your fault. You haven't had a fight. I think that you should be honest. And because you know what? The good thing about this is in like 6 months, she'll just think it's funny. And she'll tell her girlfriends, go, yeah, he dumped me because I look just like his sister. That's funny. I think you be honest. I think you sit her down. It sounds like it's early in the relationship. You haven't been dating for that long. I think you sit her down and you just go, look, Sarah, I think you're a lovely person. I like you. I enjoy talking to you. But there's a problem that I cannot get past, and that is, and it sounds silly, but you look just like my sister. And every time I look at you, every time I kiss you, every time I talk to you, every time you laugh, every time we have sex, I cannot stop myself thinking about my sister. And it's a massive turnoff. It makes me feel confused, and it makes me a bad partner. Maybe that's what you go with. You looking like my sister makes me a terrible boyfriend because I don't think about you. I just think about how you look like my sister. And it makes me uncomfortable, which makes me a bad partner. So I don't want this to get too serious. I don't want this to go too deep. I don't want to hurt you deeply by getting too involved with you. I think that we should end things here. I've thought about it a lot. There's nothing you can do, and I'm really sorry, and you deserve better than what I can give you because I cannot give you anything without feeling like I'm giving dick to my sister. Sorry.